Well, lads, here we have the greatest waste of potential since the Titanic. Conor McGregor, the first double-weight world champion, most financially successful MMA fighter, biggest star that the UFC has ever seen, and an absolute train wreck of a person. To be honest, Conor is kind of the worst thing to happen to the nation of Ireland since the famine. And now he wants to become the president, which, to be honest, if we're being serious, I don't really see between Connor and having the famine back in Ireland. I think I'd go back to the famine because Connor, whenever I hear Connor talk about running for president, he just sounds like almost every taxi driver I've ever had on a night out. You know me, man, if I was in office, I would sort all of this out. I would show those politicians how to properly run a country. Do you know what I used to be? I used to be a fighter back in the day. They used to call me the notorious Conor McGregor. Yeah, man. Sorry, lad. That'll be 22.50. Sorry, don't take card, man. Cash only. This just really sounds like what Conor McGregor is like whenever I hear anything about him running for president. All Conor really does nowadays is go on Twitter, rant, go on a few coke binges, and then consistently cheat on his wife. And for anybody that lives outside of Ireland, nobody in Ireland actually likes Conor McGregor or his family. There are a few things about Conor McGregor's family that have kind of soured them towards the Irish people. Number one being that his mother was caught doing blackface for a Halloween costume, which nowadays you can't get away with. If this was the 70s, probably could have got away with this, but now because racism, you really can't. There are a few allegations against his father for some inappropriate behavior, which I'm not going to go through here since we don't have any actual proof. But I think Tony would prefer if all of these things just stay in the closet. And as well as that, his sister is notorious for harassing dog groomers. Overall, I wouldn't say there's much love lost between the Irish people and the McGregor family, which is kind of funny because whenever we hear Conor talking, he always preaches his family values. He talks about how much he loves his kids and wants to raise them in Ireland, and how he's introducing religion to his kids, which I think is kind of ironic because if we look at Conor McGregor, he consistently cheats on his wife and abuses alcohol and drugs and preaches family values, but cheats on his wife with some manky clout chasers while he was in Sturgis, and it's absolutely on crazy alcohol binges. To be honest, Connor tries to portray that he's this family, well maintained, going things forward image, but whenever anybody sees him, he's just acting like a complete degenerate in general. And I think this is just because of his severe alcoholism and very obvious drug addiction. To be honest, he's kind of a stereotype for most successful pro athletes. Start off with not too much money, become extremely successful, lose it all to the old drink and drugs. I mean, let's be honest, imagine that Connor was your dad. Hooray, you're financially set and you don't have to worry about your money for the rest of your life. But imagine going into school and then seeing these pictures of your dad being shared amongst your friends. Like, it's just everyone's going to be talking about, like, ha ha ha, your dad doesn't actually love your mom. He's an absolute degenerate. I think his kids might have a few issues in the future as a result of Connor's behavior. But you know, Connor, a little bit narcissistic and only cares about himself. And I think he goes a little bit too hard into the party lifestyle because he talks about wanting to become the president of Ireland, and he gets this because he had his career of fighting lads in his underpants. And because of this career, he thinks, I'm the guy. I'm the guy that's going to sort out taxation, welfare, immigration, and political correspondence because I used to fight lads in my underpants. To be honest, nowadays, whenever I just see pictures of Conor McGregor, he's just a snake oil and whiskey merchant. Because to be honest, his whiskey is pretty terrible. Anybody that likes whiskey, and especially anybody from Ireland that likes whiskey, knows that it's absolute tripe, this whiskey. And as well as this Black Fort Stout, give me a Murphy's or a Guinness any day over that dog shite. It's just absolute muck and bog water. But you know, he's very good at promoting himself and his business, so yeah, fuck him. Anyway, this is kind of what Conor does nowadays. He's always threatening a return to the UFC as a way to stay relevant. It's kind of like the opposite of when Conor was in his prime. Because when Conor was in his prime fighting, he would always be threatening retirement, saying, I'm done, I'm over, I'm not going to fight again. But now that he is more or less retired, he's threatening return, being like, I'm going to continue fighting. I'm going to be the biggest star. I'm going to go on a run for the title. To be honest, I think he has more of a chance of winning the presidency of the United States than winning another UFC title again. So, to cut a long story short, this is the Conor of old who motivated many people and many Irish lads to start martial arts. And then we see him nowadays. I really don't think that Conor is going to become the president of Ireland because he really doesn't have the reputation. He really has no idea what he's doing. He kind of thinks that money equals success and intelligence, which it kind of doesn't, e.g., Elon Musk. But I don't see Conor as becoming the president of Ireland. In reality, I just see Conor becoming the president of scumbags in general, the patron saint of chavs.